What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's been a minute since I did one of these, but I think it's I think I little need to stir up a little bit of controversy here. Okay? Because I'm going to talk about something that, let's be honest, either the media, no, there is no either. The media dismisses it, acts like it never happened. Specific fan bases will act like it never happened. Or some people forgot that this actually happened. And it's all tied into the Super Bowl logos. Okay, and as you know, as of recently, you lately you see a lot of controversy regarding the Super Bowl logos and trying to match the colors and so on and so forth. And look, let's be honest and let's be real. Okay, let me start with that first before I actually get into the actual controversy of the thing. Now, I'm not big on conspiracies outside of one, outside of two particular situations, right? But since we're talking about Super Bowl logos, I'm going to stick to the Super Bowl logos. So you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I'm not on TikTok, but you see these posts by people, by these random fans showing what the Super Bowl logo looks like and the color scheme and so on and so forth. And from that, they have the assumption of what the Super Bowl teams are supposed to look like. Like you had this one with the Rams and the Bengals. I'm a Rams fan, okay? But you had this one with the Rams and the Bengals. Well, they had the orange there, but Bengals aren't the only team in the league that have the color orange in their uniforms, because if I'm not mistaken, the Cleveland Browns have them too. They have them all over the helmet, right? Then you go to the yellow part of it. Well, the Rams aren't the only team that have the yellow in their pattern and their color scheme. The Chargers got it, right? Because you could have easily said Chargers, and there's some red in there. You could have easily said Chargers 49ers. Let's go back to last year's, right? Nobody expected the Seahawks and the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl. People were of the idea that it was going to be somehow the Eagles and somebody else, right? There was one with the Eagles and the Chiefs, and making it seem like the Eagles color scheme was in there, and it's not. Let's be realistic. The Dolphins color scheme was in that Super Bowl logo. You could have easily said Dolphins. The color red was in there. You could have easily said outside of the Kansas City Chiefs, who else is out there with the color red on their uniforms? The San Francisco 49ers, right? You could have said the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm not big. I'm not big on these conspiracy theorists and the Super Bowl logos. And before the season starts, they have the NFL already has it played out, and these are what the teams in the Super Bowl are going to look like. No, no, I don't believe in that hype, and I don't buy that hype whatsoever. I think this is a narrative by fans to make excuses for their teams, because I don't believe that hype whatsoever at all. That's just me. I don't buy that hype. Outside of one particular situation, outside of one particular issue. Now let's rewind back. And yes, I will admit I am a longtime Rams fan, and I have been since 1984 season. I have been a longtime Rams fan. But if you know me outside of this space, I don't make excuses for when my team loses at all. We lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1980 in the Super Bowl. Vince Ferragamo made the only mistake he made in the Super Bowl, and it ended up costing us in the fourth quarter. We lost. It is what it is. We lost in the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49 and the San Francisco 49ers in the 90s playoff season, 89 regular season. I didn't make excuses. We lost. So I don't make when we lost to the Panthers in the divisional round. I didn't make excuses. We lost that game. Give it up to them. Give it up to them. But this is where I'm going with this. I've followed the NFL since '84. And never once have I ever seen, either before or after this particular Super Bowl, where the Super Bowl logo changed during the regular season. Now you're asking yourself, what are you talking about? Well, let's take it back to that 2001 season. Basically the 2002 Super Bowl between the Rams and the Patriots. Now we already know the controversy surrounding the Patriots and Spygate. We already are well familiar of the report that was put out there stating that the Patriots had filmed the Rams walkthrough. But there's a nugget that people don't pay attention to. Let me also mention, we're also well aware of the tuck rule. But there's some factors that people don't pay attention to that I'm going to bring to light. Bill Belichick used to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns before he got fired for failing as a head coach. In 2001, after failing to produce a winner, he was on the verge of getting fired that season because the Patriots were not doing well. Drew Bledsoe goes down with an injury, and here comes Tom Brady to come in. And here's their run to the Super Bowl. Here's where the controversy starts. If you go back, matter of fact, you don't got to go back. Just take a look. This right here was the original Super Bowl logo. This is the Super Bowl logo that was promoted prior to the season starting. This was the logo. Take a look at it. Because this is the same logo that was promoted after Super Bowl 35. This logo right here. And then what happens? 9/11 hits. And may God rest their souls to all those people that lost their lives, to them and to their families, because this has nothing to do with them in particular. But let's look at the situation though. The league decided to change the Super Bowl logo. Look at the color scheme. Look at the colors. Now, never has a Super Bowl logo ever changed during the season. Never. And people are going to bring up, oh, well, that was after a tragedy in 9/11. Understandable. But if you go back, I think it was Super Bowl 21. Forget what Super Bowl was. We're in the middle of the Persian Gulf War. We're in the middle of a Persian Gulf War with Iraq. Super Bowl logo wasn't changed then. Super Bowl logo didn't change then. So why does this make anything any differently? Never has a Super Bowl logo ever changed during the football season. And it just so happened that it changed that season. This is the only time I have ever bought into a conspiracy. The only time. And mind you, we lost to the Patriots in that 2018 Super Bowl, 2019 Super Bowl. I didn't make excuses for that loss. There was no excuses there. We lost. We didn't put up enough points. I don't need to get into that topic. But I'm not making any excuses for that loss whatsoever. We lost. Tom Brady was a quarterback. Bill Belichick was the head coach. And we lost. So you ask yourself this question here. Super Bowl logo was changed during the season. Now let's start playing all these things in our head. Super Bowl logo changes during the season. So we know the Super Bowl logo now, as you can see, Super Bowl logos are totally different. 2 different color schemes and all. Decided to change the color, and then they decided to change the logo. Right? Okay. Now, then you go and you look at, well, Bill Belichick was about to get fired during the season. They weren't playing well. Then you factor in the Rams had the number 1 offense and the number 3 defense to finish out the year. 14-2. Then you get saved by the referees and that tuck rule. And yes, that was a fumble. And it was admitted later on that it was a fumble. It just so happened to go in the Patriots' favor. Then you get the report that the Patriots filmed the Rams walkthrough prior to the Super Bowl starting. Like I said, I'm not big on conspiracies, but that's a conspiracy. And these are facts that nobody brings up. These are facts that the media chooses to ignore. Someone like me, I don't ignore those things. There are specific things that I see with my own 2 eyes. Yeah, that didn't look too well. That didn't look good. I have a few people that know how I feel about that Pittsburgh Steelers and Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl. They know how I feel about that. And I know what happened there. Because some of us, we're not stupid. And people in media like to pretend like we're stupid and change narratives and make it seem like we're stupid, like we're not paying attention. That's not the case, buddy. It's not whatsoever. I always thought it was weird then, and I still think it's weird now that happened. I think it's crazy that people ignore it and just act like it never happened when it did. Fact check yourself. I'm not making this stuff up. They changed the Super Bowl logo again. We've been going back and forth with, this is not a political thing, but we're going back and forth with Iran. Why aren't the Super Bowl logos looking like the American flag? Think about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like and subscribe button. Servant Podcast. I'm out.